We ready to break a little Topps Chrome tonight? Some jumbo Topps Chrome, actually. That's the only thing on our agenda, but we do have a little bit of information to go over before we actually start ripping into things. So let's get started with that. Excuse me. First up, feedback. 100% automated. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get the same in return. Second thing there, of course, is to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, hanging out with me, keeping me company, and all such as that. This is a look at what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're going to start a little early at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and we will open a 5-box case of TriStar autographed football jerseys. Those are the Series 2 jerseys, a case of Spectra football, and a half case of Contenders basketball, and that will be the start of a new case. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, my allergies and asthma have been horrible all week. Monday night is an off night. On Tuesday, we're going to break a case of Origins football and some Bowman Chrome, both by the full case. On Wednesday night, a full case of XR football and the back half of that case of Contenders basketball. Then on Thursday, we're going to open a 12-pack box, in which case a box is kind of the same as a case of this particular product, so call it what you will. But it is Gold Rush Gem Mint Baseball. It's Series 2, and it is a 12-pack box break. Does that make sense? And what else? What else? This is Leaf Trinity Football. We'll also open a full case of that on Thursday night. Here's what you need to know for what we're opening tonight. Everybody should pull cards in here, whether it's base cards or otherwise. Everybody's going to have a package coming with some kind of cards in it, so we don't need to worry about consolation cards in this particular break. And I'm expecting this, hoping this will be out sooner, but let's just say it should be on the way Wednesday. And if I can get it out to you faster than Wednesday, I will be happy to do so. Still dealing with a few issues around here with the family member's health, and we just don't know what's going to happen, so I'm allowing myself extra time. And of course, when I'm able to get things out faster, I will do so. So this is going to be an 8-box break of 2019 Topps Chrome Jumbo. This is a full case break. It is break number 4. Of course, it also ended tonight on eBay, the same night that we're breaking it, which is Saturday night, the 21st of September. You will find the team names there on the left-hand side and winning bidders across from each team on the opposite side. Apparently, I'm not speaking well this evening either, am I? Yeah, I think that's all the pre-break information that we needed to go over. Next up, you're going to notice here that the background does go out of focus a little bit, and that is intentional. So please don't be concerned about that. It's actually going to allow us to look at the cards up a little closer than we would otherwise be able to do. Now let me see if I have got, my iPad was giving me problems here. Let's see if we can get it to load chat. While I'm waiting for it to try and do that, I'm going to start getting these out of the case. I don't know why it's acting silly tonight. I don't know. I'm just going to refresh the whole thing. We'll exit out and go back in and then see what happens. How about that? How about that for a plan? Ah, now I can see it. All right. Mike is here. You are looking for Chronicles baseball. No, I think I'm all wrapped up with Chronicles. As far as I recall, I don't believe I have any more Chronicles around here. Got tons of stuff here, but I don't think there's any more Chronicles. I think we finished it. Kirk is here. How are you, Kirk? You're right. I haven't seen you in chat in a while. How have things been? Let me get a few sleeves out on the table, and then we're going to get ready to rock here. If you have not opened Topps Chrome in the jumbo format before, what you need to know is this. We are looking for 5 autograph cards per box. We're probably also going to find we better find some numbered parallels and inserts and other things in here as well. So the very first box that we go through, we'll go a little bit slower, just so I can talk about the various inserts and what you're going to see. And then in our subsequent boxes, we'll buzz through those a bit faster than we do the first one. So just FYI, that's how it's going to roll here tonight. Buckeyes here. Haven't seen Buckeye in chat in a while either. Buckeye UK played terribly today, didn't they? Ooh, that was a dreadful football game. All right, so we are going to find plenty of base prisms, or as Topps calls them, refractors. For the most part, those are not going to be numbered. We're going to find plenty of these too. This is an anniversary edition, basically same thing. They refract, but they are not numbered. And then we'll find numbered things that we do like. Well, we like everything, but especially we like numbered things. So that's to 150. That's our blue parallel for the Toronto Blue Jays. And whenever we see blue, it's going to be numbered to 150 in here. Buckeye, you've been laying low. Gunnar Hoke, see, daggone it. Gunnar is, of course, who we let leave here, saying that Terry Wilson was going to be our starting quarterback. Terry Wilson promptly gets hurt at the start of the season. Then we're left with only our guy that transferred in from, I forget even where. He has to be our starting quarterback now. I always liked Gunnar. I never wanted Gunnar to leave to begin with. Future Stars, that entire insert set refracts also. Pittsburgh Pirates, another, you can see it's got a pattern on it, but also it's not numbered, but it does refract. So I never wanted Gunnar Hoke to leave here. I liked Gunnar. And he would be playing right now. He would be our starting quarterback if he had stayed since Terry Wilson went down. But instead, you got him up there. I know he's third string up there. I know he is. He would have been starting down here, though. Freshman Flash. Again, the entire insert series or insert set will refract. I know, that's why I was so bummed. I mean, I understand why he left, because, he's coming into his final little bit of eligibility here, and it didn't look like he was going to have a chance to really get on the field. And I understand why he left, but boy, I wish he hadn't. Greatness Returns. We'll find lots of these as well. That particular one, though, we've got 2 active players on there, and they are for 2 different teams. So we've got to set that one aside up there. Most of the time, they are the same team on those cards. Or there'll be an active player and a retired player or something like that. But that particular one happened to be 2 different teams. Actually, that one is 2 different teams as well. Right as I say, most of them are not. We find 2 in a row that, 2 in a row that are different teams. Because that's just how it goes, isn't it? First autograph out is for the Mariners. That is Yusei Kikuchi, rookie pitcher for Seattle. Well, yeah, I get why he went back there. As you say, he's kind of from that area originally, and I understand why he did what he did. I'm just lamenting the fact that we don't have him anymore. The kid we got, the transfer, he's fine, but Gunnar would have been better. He'd been in our system. He knew everything there was to know. My Cincinnati Reds get a black and white negative parallel there for Raisel Iglesias, who came in and got a little save today for my Reds. Struck out the side in the 9th to preserve a 1-run lead for us. Managed to get a win against the Mets. Always a happy day if my Reds can win. The Tigers kind of offset the sting of that terrible UK game. Lugo. That's our second autograph out of box number 1. Oh, you're not kidding. He says the Buckeyes are all he has this year because the Steelers and the Pirates are bad. Yeah, the Steelers are terrible. That's Colin Moran was a refractor, and I laid him down like he was a base, but he is actually a refractor. Well, he's still base, but you know what I mean. The Mets and Jeff McNeil. Yeah, my Steelers, I kind of thought it was going to be a rough go of it before Ben got hurt, and now I think it's going to be even worse. I mean, you never know. You never know. Maybe Mason will come in and work some magic, but honestly, we're not very good still on defense, which how? How does that happen? How does it happen that a program that's known for its defense can have such crappy defense for the last 2 or 3 years? It's been bad. Doesn't look to be much better this year. Although I do like the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick. I like that kid. I don't like that we gave up a 2020 first rounder. I would have much rather it been like 21 or 22, but it is what it is, I guess. Another Raisel Iglesias, Cincinnati Reds. This one is the Green Wave. Green are numbered to 99. We have an autograph for the Padres with Jacob Nix. Well, you said the Patriots game was embarrassing. I couldn't even watch that game, Buckeye. That was that was just, it didn't even matter who was playing. That was not even a good game to watch. That was just a crap fest. I couldn't believe that game. Yeah, that did not set the tone well. But, we'll see what our little rookies got, and we'll just chalk it up to a rebuilding year, and off we go. Well, I don't know they necessarily gave up too much. I mean, Minkah is a first-round talent. I agree with that. I just wish it hadn't been for next year, because by the looks of things, we're going to be horrible this year, which means we'll have a fairly high pick next year for the first time in forever, and it's going to be gone. So I'm not thrilled about that. Here's one for the Atlanta Braves. It is purple to 250 with Colby Allard, whichever it is. At any rate, it's an Atlanta Brave. Oh, well, I quit watching way before the third quarter. You made it all the way to mid-third quarter. You did well. No, I gave up way before that, switched over, and I think I was watching baseball, and I was flipping around between 2 or 3 different things, and I would occasionally flip back over and watch for a couple of minutes and see that it was still just ridiculous, and then go away again. I don't know. James Washington, maybe. I mean, obviously he and Kyle Rudolph were connected in college. They went to school together, and I think we're a pretty decent little duo there in college. So I don't know what that will mean for him. It might give him more production, possibly. But it's really just hard to say. He hasn't, up to this point, he hasn't been as good as I thought he would be. So I don't know. It's all just a big guessing game, isn't it? So that's both Astros on that one. And we have ourselves an autograph for the Dodgers with Dennis Santana to 499. Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, I know that in the preseason that he did throw to him a lot, but in game will be a different sitch. I mean, maybe it may still work out that way. That's another one with 2 different teams on it. May still work out that way, but you can't just let Juju Smith-Schuster die on the vine there, because he's clearly a cut above James Washington in terms of his abilities. Walker Buehler, Dodgers, black and white, negative version. The Dodgers, of course, have clinched, as have the Braves and the Yankees and who else? Somebody else. Braves, the Yankees, the Dodgers, and somebody. The Astros. Yeah. That's our 4 teams that are definitely on their way to the playoffs. Another Kikuchi. Pair of them. This one's probably going to be numbered to 499 because it is a refractor. Although, I'm wrong. It's numbered to 150. Oh, see? Oh, I didn't see that little blue outline, did I? On the border. They got me on the one. They caught me napping, didn't they? Young and Young is here. Hi, Young and Young. Yeah, so I think the Cubs are probably done. I think the Cubs are toast. They're not going to make it. Red Sox obviously aren't going to make it. So we'll have to see how the rest of it fights out. Brewers, surprisingly, even without Yelich, still playing relatively well. Nationals will probably get in there, wild card somewhere. O'Hearn, Ryan O'Hearn, Kansas City Royals. Well, yes, you are right about that, Buckeye. Mason Rudolph did get our tight ends involved again, and they needed to be. We hadn't been really utilizing our tight ends very much the first couple of games, so we do need to get them certainly more involved. Houston Astros and Perez. But my poor little Reds, well, we don't have to worry about them getting to the postseason. We're just trying not to lose 100 games, I think. That's our postseason. Hey, can we just go a year and not lose 100 games? That'd be awesome. Kyle Schwarber and the Cubbies to 299. I don't know why that purple's to 299. Usually purple's to 250, but what are you going to do? Now it said 299, so there we go. And here we have one for the Blue Jays with Thomas Pannone. That is not probably who you were looking for if you have Toronto tonight, but you're not going home empty-handed. So there's something to be said for that. All right, that box is finished up. I think I've got a little bit more Topps Chrome still in the house. I have quite a bit more. I did sell a few cases out as sealed cases. Just because I have such a backlog of stuff here right now. But I did keep enough for us to still have some fun breaking. So besides this one, there's at least another 1 or 2 down there, I think. Cedric Mullins, Baltimore Orioles. And of course, loads of other baseball. Greatness on that one. Those are both Yankees, so we don't have to worry about it. So does anybody have any predictions as to who you think is going to be our World Series winner this year? I don't know. I kind of think it's a toss-up right now. I think there's a couple of different teams that can win it, but you just Of course, I've thought the last couple of years that the Dodgers could possibly win it, and then they somehow, hang on a minute, I think something stuck to the back of that. Yes, it was. That was. Wasn't it? Or no, yeah, that was. Those are both Red Sox, though. And then somehow the Dodgers just, can't get it done. Duggar for the Giants. If the Yankees were fully healthy, I would be more inclined to say Yankees. Although, honestly, seems like they're just plug and play, aren't they? They've had so many injuries all year, and they just go get somebody else and plug them in. And whoever that is suddenly, plays like their hair's on fire. And it's been that way for them all season, so they seem to be kind of charmed in that regard, despite all the injuries. Black and white, Zach Cozart, Angels. So I guess you can't really count them out, no matter. Mike, you'd like for it to be the Braves, but you don't know who can beat the Astros pitching. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, the Astros are going to have some bad games from somebody. And, who are you gonna get it from? From Verlander, doubtful. From Cole, doubtful. From Greinke, probably not. I mean, it's just absurd, the lineup they've put together. Eric Hosmer to 99, Padres, Green Wave. Behind it, you have Willens, whose last name I cannot pronounce properly. A studio, whatever, for the Twins. Yeah, their pitching rotation is just incredible. But the Braves have good offense too, so you never know. All it takes is one of those guys to have one night of off pitching, which happens to everybody somewhere along the way. And all of a sudden you got a chance to kind of sneak in there, but whether or not that one night of off pitching will happen during the playoffs is another matter. Kevin Newman for the Pirates. He's been playing well, by the way, Buckeye, for your Pirates, so that's kind of a bright spot, I think. Kevin Newman looks like he's going to be pretty good. I think he's the one I really don't hardly ever watch Pirates games, but I'm pretty sure he's the one I'm thinking of that's had pretty good production this year. He and Brian Reynolds both, I think. I actually can't remember the last time I did see a Pirates game. I don't really air too much in my market. I guess the last time that they were playing against the Reds, maybe. So we have Gold Wave. This should be to 50. It is Christian Stewart for the Tigers. Yeah, so it is him. That's who I was thinking that it was Newman alongside Brian Reynolds that have been doing well. And yes, I agree. Josh Bell started off really hot, but after the All-Star break, I mean, not only did he cool down, he just went ice cold. He went completely in the opposite direction, like somebody flipped a switch at the All-Star break. De Los Santos to 250. Autograph for the Phillies. Buckeye, what are you hearing about your guy Felipe Vasquez? That was horrible, man. For those of you who don't know, relief pitcher for the Pirates, Felipe Vasquez, got arrested for trying to solicit a minor child. And it's quite an ugly situation. So my assumption is he's been arrested. I don't know if I really saw if he was arrested or not, but I certainly would assume that he has been. And I would imagine if he gets convicted, they'll probably deport him. At any rate, I would say his Major League Baseball career's got to be over. Like, who would touch him after that? That's just toxic. Of course, we've seen toxic before get picked up, but hopefully not this kind of toxic. A redemption, it's going to stay right over here in housekeeping, and it's going to be face down until the end of the break. We'll flip it over then, find out who is on the other side, and we'll go to the Topps website to match up the team. And we may know who the team is. We probably will, but regardless, we'll still travel over to the Topps checklist and take a look at it. Ryan Borucki to 499, Blue Jays. Yeah, so two pitchers. Felipe Vasquez, of course, that I just talked about, and then Domingo Germán for the Pirates, who's actually for the Pirates. Sorry, for the Yankees, and he's actually kind of a pretty decent piece of the Yankees pitching rotation, and he got lit up for domestic violence. So they first said he was probably out for the year, and then someone said yesterday, I guess, maybe he might get back in for postseason somehow. I don't know. Borucki, black and white, Toronto Blue Jays. Another Colby for the Braves. Got a bookend of those now. I mean, I don't know how he would possibly get back for the postseason, but Buckeye, I don't know what happens to Antonio Brown now. You know, I would like to say that I would be completely shocked if another team picked him up. But the fact of the matter is there are teams out there who really don't care about character issues and off-field issues and legal issues or anything else. There are teams out there, we all know who they are, that will pick up somebody if they're talented enough regardless of any of that. It's the Twins to 150, blue, Max Kepler. But the only thing that I think makes a difference right now that might stop some of these teams from doing that is the statement issued by the NFL, which, I'm paraphrasing this, but essentially said, hey, as long as he's a free agent, we can't really put him on the exempt list. But the moment that he's not a free agent, the moment he signs with somebody, he can be put on the exempt list and can face, you know, potentially additional punishment or, you know, whatever, however it was phrased. That's Garcia for the Cardinals. So that's kind of as close as the NFL commissioner is going to come to warning teams, don't pick him up. I mean, that's kind of a veiled message, in my opinion, to say, don't pick him up. But now, whether or not that works out, who knows? But really, why would you want to anyway? I mean, look at the mess the guy's made. But, of course, he lost his Nike sponsorship. And I thought the Patriots were going to have to pay him out that bonus. But then another article that I read said that they are not probably going to have to pay him out that bonus. Because he had a signing bonus of like $9 million. The first 5 of it was due this upcoming Monday. And the remaining 4 towards the back end of the season. But as it turns out, it seems like they had a clause in there that basically will allow them to escape paying that. So he will have gotten his game check for the 1 week, and I'd probably pay him for the other week. So that's, I think, what was he making, like $180,000 a week or something? And that's about it. And then, of course, lost his Nike endorsement deal and things like that. To 75, Josh Hader, Milwaukee Brewers. That is a blue wave. So, remains to be seen if anybody wants to deal with him or not, but he would be a distraction, that's for sure. And if you think about it, you know, the one person who can usually, maybe not always, but who would be most likely to rein in somebody like that and get them to toe the company line would be Bill Belichick. And he couldn't even deal with him. Adam Sember for the Indians. So wouldn't you have to also kind of look at that and think, ooh, boy, if he can't, Bill Belichick can't even get him in line. Yeah, is that what we want to mess with? I don't know. That's how I would look at it anyway. If it were me. You saw a meme with him signing with McDonald's for $17.50 an hour, the highest paid part-time employee at Mickey D's. Yeah, I mean, guy's got plenty of money. Who knows how well he saved it or invested it, but obviously we know he's made plenty of money that he's, I'm sure, not hurting. Although he does have 5 kids. I think with 3 different women. So, a lot of child support. At least 2, and I think 3. Different women, I mean. Another Raisel Iglesias. This one to $299 purple for the Reds. A lot of Raisel Iglesias in this particular case. And would not be a break without finding Corbin Burnes, would it? For the Milwaukee Brewers, we have a Blue Wave Corbin Burnes to 150. Oh, I see another redemption on the horizon there. So we're going to have a pair of those to take a look at the conclusion of the break. See what kind of interesting things wait for us with that. Oh, I would be surprised if the Cowboys picked him up. I wouldn't think they would really want any part of that circus, but maybe. I mean, who knows? For me, I think it would be the Bengals. I mean, because the Bengals have historically not been afraid to pick up people of marginal character, shall we say. They have had really, traditionally, not much problem with that. And they can definitely use the help and probably have the cap space to do it as well. Salvador Perez, black and white for the Royals, Kansas City. But who knows? We'll have to see how it plays out. DJ Stewart for the Baltimore Orioles. Of course, you know, this is the last year that we'll get to see the expanded September rosters, too. That's going to be a big change starting next year. They won't be able, what does it add, like just a handful of players, 2 or 3 additional players or something when you get to September, not like it is now when you can just bring up all your young guys and get an extended look at them, especially if you're already done for the year, you know, as in you have no chance of making the playoffs. It's always been a nice time to bring up the youngsters and get a sneak peek, but they're going to have to change that philosophy next year. Josh James for the Astros. In fact, the Reds got to look at one such guy tonight who actually hit the single, which gave the Reds the lead in the bottom of the 8th, and so ultimately won the game for them. So that was kind of cool. Buckeye, you're out of here. All right, my friend. Well, take care. As always, good to see you. But the one thing I wish they would change, it's not even necessarily about the pitching clock, because I think the pitching clock is kind of a weird idea. It's just kind of a strange way to handle it. But one thing I would like to see them do is for just both sides to take a little less time. I mean, you watch these guys bat, and after every pitch, you know, they're stepping out of the box. They're doing the swing 5, 6, 7, 8 times. They're coming back in, tapping the base, digging back in. It's like, guy, when you're in there, just stand there. Just stand there and take your pitches. Andujar to 75, Blue Wave Yankees. And then, of course, you know, you got the pitchers doing the same thing, shaking off 95 times. Aramis Garcia for the Giants. So one or the other side is taking forever. And then it's, you know, if they would both just speed up by 30 seconds each, it'd be very manageable and a lot more time efficient. And better, I think, than a pitch clock. And sometimes the umpires will even let these hitters, they're not supposed to let them call time once a pitcher has started his motion. But listen, I've seen plenty of times when I would argue the fact that the pitcher had maybe already started his motion before time was called. So I don't know that that's all that efficient either. Oh, I like this kid. Milwaukee Brewers, says Keston Hiura to 499. I like him. He's been good too. And back, out with a brief injury, but back starting a couple games ago, I guess. Another Greatness Returns. Ooh, we have an insert that is autographed, and it's looking kind of orange, isn't it? So I'm going to go with the fact that we're probably going to find this is to 25 when we flip it over. It is the Tampa Bay Rays and Brandon Lowe. And in fact, it is up there in that upper right-hand corner, number 225. So the orange parallel there for the Tampa Bay Rays with an insert autograph. Cassandra, in this break, all the cards ship. So anytime, guys, that we do a break where not all the cards ship, which there are times when not all the cards ship, it's always, 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 without fail, going to tell you that in the listing description. Down in that middle part where it lists the date and time of the break and the quantity and title of the product and all that fun stuff, it will always tell you down in that spot if, say, for instance, base doesn't ship or veteran base doesn't ship, or if something has been split out into a separate category or whatever. So I always tell everybody, you know, check that spot before you bid so you know what's going on. Black and white Vlad Guerrero Jr. for the Blue Jays. But in this instance, all the cards ship out of here, including the base. But there have been, of course, breaks where they don't. So again, I always tell you, don't just expect every single time that's going to be that way. It just takes a couple of seconds to scroll down. I figure most people are scrolling down there anyway, right, to get the date and time of the break. I know not everybody reads everything in the description. Goodness knows I've learned that a long time ago. But I figure most people are at least looking to see the date and time. So that's one of the reasons we put it there in that area. We don't have much coming out next week. Heritage Minor League. releases on Wednesday, but I don't even know if I'm going to break any Heritage Minor League. Some years I do, some years I don't. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet for this year. At any rate, we wouldn't be breaking it on Wednesday. That much I can tell you. Matt Chapman to 299, purple parallel A's. Behind it is Christian Stewart for the Tigers. Which might be a bookend of autographs for him, but we will, of course, do a recap at the end, and we'll take another look at it. Well, right, Cassandra, you're going to get all the cards. I mean, there wouldn't be any extra for your teams because I'm going to ship them all to you. So any cards that you pull in here for your team will be shipped out to you, right? So they will be headed your way when the rest of the break goes out. Kevin Kramer and the Pirates. Yeah, any of the times if we have, say, for instance, not all the cards shipping, there's always a bidding spot for whatever isn't shipping. So if, say, for instance, Veteran Base weren't shipping, which it is in this break, but if it were not, there would have been a bidding spot for Veteran Base, etc. Walker Buehler to 150, the blue parallel for the Dodgers. So it all generally finds a home one way or another. Ryan Borucki, I'm pretty sure that's a duplicate as well for the Blue Jays. I think it is. Another Greatness Returns. Those were both Red Sox on there. And we have got 2 left. So we've opened 6, and we have 2 boxes remaining. And of course, after we get everything opened, we will do the recap, and then we'll also put up the spreadsheet information again with your anticipated shipping date and all that sort of stuff for anybody who might have jumped in midway. Aramis Garcia, blue to 150. Some of these are kind of wanting to stick together a little bit, making life difficult here out of a couple of these packs. And another DJ Stewart for the Orioles. This one not signed, but it's a purple parallel to 299. It is hard to believe that we're coming around to the end of baseball season, isn't it? We'll only have football to watch then. Well, basketball will start up, I guess, in another month or so. Dakota Hudson, I like him as well. St. Louis Cardinals, he's been pitching pretty well. I think did he pitch today? He might have pitched today. I don't know how he did today, but in general, I think he's been pitching pretty well. And I'm not even certain if he had the start today, but he might have. Heath Filmer, Kansas City Royals. You know what? I think this is a short print. Hang on 1 second. That little bad boy right there. I believe that is an image variation short print for Kyle Tucker. I wouldn't 100% swear to it, but I believe that it is. And Astros. If I didn't say Astros, Kyle Tucker is an Astro. Sometimes I forget to say the team. Bryce Wilson for the Atlanta Braves. Cassandra's confirming that is the short print image variation Kyle Tucker. I was pretty sure it was, but I hadn't pulled it before, so I wasn't going to say 100% without double checking it, but I was probably 95% that it was, but you just confirmed that in fact it is. So, all right, there we go. Now we know. Eddie Rosario for the Twins /50 with a gold parallel. Behind that, we have a little Kansas City Royals, Brad Keller. A lot of Royals in here tonight, haven't there? Seems that way to me anyway. All right, we're heading into the last box. You know what that means. Time to fire up our last box mojo. Let's see if we can collectively focus our mojo energy here and perhaps come up with some fire out of the last box of the night. That would be good. See what we can bring home here. Last box mojo works a surprising amount of the time, where we'll pull something really good out of it. Not every time, of course, but a lot of times. There are a lot of cards in this set. But still, I like to open the jumbo, even though it's more cards, because we get more autographs in it. For the Twins, Steven Gonzalez. I do kind of wish, though, it could be jumbo with like, hey, here's a whole bunch more autographs, but not any extra base. Which is how Bowman Chrome HTA is. You remember they changed that 2 or 3 years ago, where the jumbo version now of Bowman Chrome is all hits and no base. Regular Bowman Chrome, of course, still has base in it. Our case hit, and it's the Diamondbacks. It's orange, which means it should be numbered to 25. And sure enough, it is. And that is Didi Gregorius with a little flashback there for rookie debut gear relic card. I need to get a different sleeve for that. So Diamondbacks, how about a nice little unexpected Didi Gregorius to 25, huh? For your case hit. Not too shabby, right? Last box mojo kind of kicking in there that our case hit comes out in the last box. I like that. Right as Mike types in, hey, we should have an orange in here probably because I think we've only seen one. Yeah, we've seen, I think maybe one. That was the second, or it could have been the third. I can't really remember, but we'll recap it. Last box mojo is burning it up, baby, because there is Eloy to 499 for the White Sox. So we got our case hit relic. We got Eloy. Yeah, I'm liking the way the last box is shaping up right now. Told you it works sometimes. Cassandra, I do not have a card shop. I should have, though, with all the stuff I get in and have at any given time. Yeah, I should have one. But no, I don't. We have a local one here. The guy sold it the end of last year, and he tried to get me to buy it, and I decided I didn't want to buy it because I didn't have the time to run it. And so someone else bought it. New owners in there now. To 150, Ryan O'Hearn, Blue Wave, another Kansas City Royal. Yeah, once upon a time we had a number of local shops, local card shops here. But they slowly but surely all went out of business except for him. And he has been around for 20 some odd years. And had he not been able to sell it, he was going to close it. So I'm glad someone else bought it. I just didn't have time to run that thing. Ozzy to 299, purple for the Braves. I think it would have been fun to have it, but too time consuming. I had to have hired a lot of people probably because I wouldn't have time to be in there, whereas he ran it all himself. He didn't have any staff. It was just him. And I think by the time I hired a bunch of people, I probably wouldn't have been making much money, if any. This is Pilar Black and White Negative Blue Jays. Behind it, an autograph for the Cardinals with Patrick Wisdom. One little lonely pack left to bust here. Nope, two, sorry. Two little lonely packs left to bust. And a couple of redemptions that we'll be flipping over, too, after we look at these last couple of packs. So, still the possibility of two more hits up there. Well, there are two more hits. Matt Chapman for the A's to 99 green. But I'm saying you have the possibility for your team to get two more hits from the redemptions. And, of course, we'll have to deal with those few little greatness returns up there that had two different teams on them. David Fletcher for the Angels. It's our last autograph out for the night. Getting one for the Angels right at the very end. Okay, so let's take care of our housekeeping and see what's what over here. And then we'll recap. We'll deal with these greatness returns, which, you know, I think I'm going to go ahead and just sleeve them because then I can mark on the sleeve itself which spot ends up getting the card, and I won't have to later go back and watch the break, which means it'll be faster when it comes time to sort it and get it out the door to you. All right, Danny Jansen is on one side. That's going to be the Toronto Blue Jays rookie autograph refractor parallel. And oh, imagine that, Danny Jansen on them both. So one is the refractor and one is the base autograph, but they are both Danny Jansen Blue Jays. We are still going to go to the Topps website and look it up, which we'll do here in a hot second. And what else? Let's go ahead and take a look at these. We'll do this while we're gone in a moment as well. So on these greatness returns that have two different teams on them, we're going to go to random.org, and it's going to be super easy. I'm going to type in left and I'm going to type in right, and I will hit random 3 different times. The first 2 are not going to count. The third and final random will tell us for those cards whether it's going to go to the team that is pictured on the right of the card or the team that is pictured on the left-hand side of that card. But first things first, we need to get ourselves over here to the checklist. So I'm over there. Let me bring you with me. Now I got to find the Topps Chrome part of it. Somewhere on here. I can never find it. Where is it? Chrome. There we go. All right, we just have to scroll down to get to the autograph part, and we'll get there in a minute. Not future stars or greatness. Rookie autographs. All right, here we go. Danny Jansen, Toronto Blue Jays, right as we expected it to be. So that takes care of our redemptions being all official-like from the Topps website. Now we're going to buzz over here to random, and this is going to be those greatness returns cards that I showed you a moment ago. We're going to get those a new home. All right, so remember it's the third one that counts. So pay no attention to the first one. Ignore the second one. Here comes the last one. 3 times, date and time stamp. It goes to the team on the left-hand side of the card. So for this one, it's going to go to Bob Gibson and the Cardinals, which again, these are in sleeves, so I am not actually marking on your cards. I think everybody would know that, but as sure as I don't demonstrate it, you know what will happen. And in this instance, that means we're looking at the Hank Aaron side of the card, who's a guy that I personally like a lot. I'm a big Hank Aaron fan. Hank Aaron and Johnny Bench. And then we've got Ty Cobb on this one for the Tigers. So a lot of the old-timers winning out. And this one, of course, we had current players on both sides. And finally, one goes to Mike Trout, right? He was on another 1 or 2 of those, but he finally takes one home with this last one. Okay, so those are our greatness returns that had different teams. Those are all now wrapped up. We had a short print Kyle Tucker image variation for the Astros. We've got lots of these black and whites. They are not numbered. We've got several purple. The purple are numbered to 299. We've got maybe 1 or 2 gold in here. Those are numbered to 50. Our blue, of course, are to 150. And blue wave are also, blue wave to 75. Regular blue to 150, I should clarify. I'm used to all Topps blue being to 150, but they are not in this set. Regular blue 150, blue wave to 75. There's a gold wave for the Tigers. It's to 50. Green wave Padres, those are to 99. It's to 299. This is to 99 for the Reds and to 150. Now the hits, the little stack of hits. 2 Danny Jansen autographs, Blue Jays, which of course we verified on the Topps website using their checklist that is the correct team. And apparently I stacked this guy in the wrong spot. Matt Chapman to 99, of course, the green there for the A's. And then we have Ryan O'Hearn for the Kansas City Royals. That is to 150. Eloy is to 499 for the White Sox. You've got the Twins, Royals, Cardinals, San Francisco Giants to 150. Pirates, Twins, Giants, Orioles, Blue Jays, Astros, Royals, Mariners to 150. The Dodgers to 499. The Braves to 250. Padres, Mets, Tigers, and Mariners. The Angels, the Cardinals, a case hit for the Diamondbacks to 25 for Didi Gregorius with a relic hit. Nice low number relic hit. Then you've got the Braves, Blue Jays, Pirates, Tigers. Here's the other orange I was trying to remember earlier and couldn't think who it was. It is Brandon Lowe. It's on the freshman flash insert set, and Tampa Bay Rays to 25. Hira for the Milwaukee Brewers to 499. The Giants, the Astros, the Orioles, the Milwaukee Brewers to 150. The Indians, the Cardinals, the Braves, the Blue Jays to 499, and the Phillies to 250. All right, there's the break. There's the recap. Let's go ahead and get our spreadsheet information back up here one more time. For those of you who might not have caught this earlier, here's the 411. So Wednesday is your projected shipping date for this product that we opened tonight. And if I can get it out to you faster than that, I will. A lot of it's just going to depend on how things go with my relative who's in the hospital. So if everything stays status quo and he doesn't get any worse, then I would expect I could get it out to you a little sooner. But if something were to change there, then I want to allow myself a little bit of wiggle room and not overpromise. So we're going to shoot for Wednesday. And if I can get it out to you faster than Wednesday, I will gladly do so. Now, what is coming up in the days ahead? So tomorrow night, we're starting at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We're opening 3 things. A case of TriStar Game Day Greats autographed football jerseys. Those are Series 2. We're going to open a case of Spectra football, which might be my last case of Spectra. Not 100% sure that it is, but I think it might be. And then we're going to open a half case of Contenders basketball, and that will be the start of a new case. Monday night will be an off night. On Tuesday night, we're going to open a case of Origins football and a case of Bowman Chrome baseball. On Wednesday, a case of XR football and the back half of Contenders basketball. On Thursday, it is going to be Gold Rush Gem Mint Baseball Series 2, and we're going to open a 12-pack box. I probably, even though that's Series 2, I probably need to, it makes it look like it's a 2-box break, doesn't it? I need to put that on there differently for tomorrow night. And then also a 10-box case of Leaf Trinity football. So that's what we're looking like in the days ahead. And I believe that has got me wrapped up for tonight. So once again, thanks everyone for being here. Always appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And if I don't see you again tomorrow night, I hope I will see you again soon. In the meantime, take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow night. Bye now.